The morning sunlight filters through my half-drawn blinds, casting a warm glow across the small homemade cake I baked last night. I smooth my hands over the simple blue dress I've chosen for today me birthday. 22 years old. Not exactly a milestone, but still worth celebrating. At least, that's what I tell myself. My phone sits silent on the counter beside a framed family photo taken 3 summers ago at Lake Winnebago before I moved out, when I still believed things might change. Mom's arm is draped around Jacob's shoulders. Dad's hand rests on his back. I'm standing slightly apart, smiling too widely, as if I could close the gap through sheer determination. The calendar on my wall has today's date circled in red, a hopeful mark I made weeks ago. I check my phone for the 100th time this morning. No messages. No missed calls. Not even from Mom, who used to wake me with birthday pancakes when I was little. It's fine, it's still early. We're meeting for dinner at Rosario's mom's favorite Italian place. She wouldn't forget that. I pick up my phone, hesitate, then tap out a message to our family group chat. Hey, what time are we meeting for dinner tonight? I press send, then hold my breath. 3 dots appear, then disappear. Nothing. Minutes tick by. I water my kitchen herbs. Check my email. Straighten already straight picture frames. Still nothing. Maybe they didn't see it. Maybe they're busy. Maybe. I type again, fingers slightly less steady. Mom, Dad, just checking about tonight. The silence stretches into afternoon. My stomach tightens into a familiar knot. I felt this before at my high school graduation, when they spent the ceremony whispering about Jacob's middle school science fair win, at my college awards banquet when they left early for his baseball game. But not today. Not my birthday. I press call before I can talk myself out of it. My heart pounds as the phone rings once, twice, 3 times. Oh, hey Sarah, what's up? Mom's voice sounds casual, distracted. Something cold settles in my chest. Hi, Mom. I was just checking about dinner tonight. Dinner? There's a pause. Too long, too telling. Oh, honey, I should have told you earlier. I grip the counter's edge, already knowing what comes next. We're taking Jacob out tonight to celebrate. The breath leaves my lungs in a silent rush. But it's my birthday. Is that today? Her voice rises in fake surprise. I know it's fake because I heard her genuine surprise last week, when Dad brought home flowers, the sharp intake of breath, the unguarded delight. This is different. This is theater. From somewhere in the background, I hear Jacob laugh. Tell her we'll bring leftovers. My vision blurs. Not from tears I won't cry. Not this time, but from a sudden, clarifying anger. This wasn't forgetfulness. This was choice. Right, I say, my voice eerily calm. Jacob's scholarship dinner. Oh, you remembered. Mom sounds relieved, as if I've handed her the perfect excuse. We meant to include you, sweetie, but reservations were limited and… It's fine. The words escape through clenched teeth. Have a good night. I'm 16 again, watching Mom brush Jacob's hair before his class picture while I drive myself to school. I'm 18, at graduation, as they rush past my honor cords to congratulate my brother on making junior varsity. I'm 21, helping them move Jacob into his dorm at Dad's alma mater while they reminisce about legacy traditions. 6 months ago, I moved out, still foolishly hoping distance might make their hearts grow fonder. Still making the effort to call weekly, to show up for Sunday dinners, to maintain the fiction that we're a normal, loving family. What a waste of hope. I stare at my reflection in the microwave, door cheeks flushed, eyes too bright. Slowly, deliberately, I reach behind my neck and unclasp the silver necklace Mom gave me last Christmas. It wasn't chosen for me, it was the same one she gave my cousin Bethany and my Aunt Lisa. Practical. Efficient. 1 gift, 3 women checked off her list. I place it on the counter and turn away. My phone buzzes with a text, but it's not from my parents, it's from Daniel. Happy birthday, can't wait to see you tonight. Daniel, whose eyes light up when I enter a room, whose parents asked for my favorite cake flavor last week in what I now realize wasn't casual conversation. I delete the pleading text I'd started drafting to my parents. My hands tremble slightly as I call Daniel instead. When he answers, I'm surprised by the strength in my voice. Hey, do you have plans tonight? They're celebrating Jacob tonight instead. The words catch in my throat as I grip the phone tight against my ear. Through the window, I watch a cardinal land on my small balcony railing, vibrant red against the fading afternoon light. What? Daniel's voice sharpens. I can picture his brow furrowing, the way it does when something doesn't make sense. It's your birthday today. Apparently, that didn't make the priority list. I fight to keep my voice steady, but it wavers like a candle flame in a draft. Mom thought Jacob's scholarship dinner was more important. Daniel's silence on the other end speaks volumes, followed by a controlled exhale. I'm coming to get you. Right now. No, I'm fine. Sarah. The firmness in his voice stops my automatic deflection. You shouldn't be alone on your birthday. I'm already grabbing my keys. My first instinct is to protest further. I don't want pity. I've spent years carefully crafting the appearance that everything is fine, that my family's neglect doesn't cut bone deep. But something inside me, something that's been building for 22 years, finally cracks. Okay, I whisper. By the time Daniel's gentle knock sounds at my door, I've pulled out a box of old family photos from under my bed. I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor, staring at a Christmas picture from 3 years ago. I'm half cropped out of the frame, while Jacob stands center, arms wrapped around Mom's shoulders. Daniel takes one look at me and drops to his knees beside me, wrapping his arms around me without a word. I thought maybe I was overreacting, I say after a moment, reaching for my phone. So I check the family calendar. I open the shared digital calendar that Mom insisted we all use to stay connected. I scroll to today's date, then back several weeks. There it is. Jacob's celebration dinner, 7 p.m. Rosario's entered 23 days ago. They didn't forget, I say, my voice hollow as understanding crystallizes. They chose. Daniel takes the phone gently, scrolling through past events. His jaw tightens as he notices what I'd shown him before Jacob's basketball games marked as everyone attend, while my college honors ceremony had merely been labeled Sarah's school thing. Look at these texts, I continue, feeling a strange calm as I finally allow myself to see the pattern I've denied for so long. I show him message after message my graduation announcement met with, "We'll try to make it." Jacob's junior varsity success met with, "We're so proud. Family celebration dinner." This isn't right, Sarah, Daniel says, his voice quiet but filled with unmistakable anger. This isn't what family does. I look up at him, at the genuine outrage in his eyes on my behalf, and something shifts inside me like tectonic plates, finally releasing years of built-up pressure. My parents have been asking about you, he continues softly. They noticed you weren't at Sunday dinner last week. I hesitate. Daniel's family has always been kind to me, but accepting their help feels like admitting my own family doesn't want me, like confirming out loud what I've known in my heart for years. I don't need a charity birthday, I say, even as I recognize the defensive edge in my voice. Daniel cups my cheek in his palm. It's not charity. They care about you. They've been asking when they could meet you for dinner anyway. The contrast is stark. Daniel's parents noticing my absence from one meal, while my own parents planned a celebration without me on my birthday. Slowly, I reach behind my neck and unclasp my mother's necklace again, setting it deliberately on the coffee table. Let me get changed, I say. 20 minutes later, we pull into Daniel's parents' driveway. I've replaced my birthday dress with jeans and a soft blue sweater, not special occasion attire, but comfortable. Armor of a different kind. Before we reach the door, it swings open, revealing Daniel's mother, Martha, her face lighting up when she sees me. Happy birthday, sweetheart. We've been planning something special. She envelops me in a hug that smells of vanilla and fresh flowers. It's immediate, genuine, and without hesitation, nothing like the stiff, obligatory hugs my mother offers at major holidays. Behind her, Daniel's father, Robert, appears holding a small, beautifully wrapped package. 22, right? We wanted to get you something meaningful. The gift is a beautiful leather-bound journal, my initials embossed in the corner. not identical to every other gift they've given, but chosen specifically for me. Thank you, I manage, my throat tight. This is perfect. My phone remains stubbornly silent in my pocket as Daniel's parents usher us toward their car. They've made dinner reservations at Bellini's, an upscale Italian restaurant I've mentioned wanting to try. The restaurant is warm and inviting white tablecloths and soft lighting, fancy without being intimidating. Robert orders champagne as soon as we're seated, insisting on a proper toast. To Sarah, he says, raising his glass. Not just to your birthday, but to your future. We're excited to see where your talents take you. Martha adds, and to finally getting to know the young woman Daniel talks about so glowingly. They ask about my new job, my apartment, my dreams for the future, genuine questions followed by attentive listening. No one interrupts to mention Jacob's accomplishments. No one checks their watch or glances at their phone. As the waiter brings dessert, a slice of tiramisu with a single candle, I feel words forming that I've never allowed myself to speak aloud. I think I've been looking for family in the wrong place. Daniel's mom insists on one more photo. Just the two of you by the fireplace. She waves us into position, then steps back to frame the shot. Perfect. I smooth my blue dress, the same one I'd worn this morning, when I still believed my family might remember me, and lean into Daniel's side. His arm settles around my waist, solid and present. Smile, his father calls. The camera flash catches us mid-laugh, another memory preserved. Back at Daniel's house, we settle on the couch while his parents bustle in the kitchen, making coffee and plating the small cake they'd surprised me with at the restaurant. The evening wraps around me like a warm blanket, the gentle clicking of dishes, the soft murmur of conversation, the absence of that familiar knot in my stomach. We should take a picture to remember tonight, Daniel says, pulling out his phone. I freeze. Oh, I can take it. Not this time. He shifts closer, holding his phone at arm's length. You're going to be in these photos, birthday girl. The realization stings. I've spent years documenting everyone else's celebrations. Mom directing me to get a good one of Jacob blowing out candles. Dad handing me his phone to capture family moments I was never truly part of. Daniel's parents return with coffee and cake, but before we dig in, his mother takes more photos, Daniel and me, just me, all four of us with the timer. When she shows me the results, something catches in my throat. I'm smiling. Not the stretched, camera-ready smile I've perfected for family gatherings, but something real. My eyes are bright. I look happy. Send those to me, I ask, my voice smaller than I intend. Later, when Daniel's parents have retired for the night and we're alone in the living room, I scroll through the evening's photos. The contrast is stark. In Daniel's family photos, I'm centered, visible, celebrated. In my own family albums, I'm a ghost either behind the camera or standing slightly apart, smiling too widely, always reaching. 22 years of trying to be seen. 22 years of making excuses. They're just busy. Jacob needs more attention right now. They show love differently. Family is complicated. My fingers hover over Instagram. I rarely post personal content. What would be the point? My family rarely engages, and I've spent years curating a light, uncontroversial feed that wouldn't embarrass them. But tonight, something shifts inside me, like a gear finally clicking into place after years of grinding. You okay? Daniel asks, returning from the kitchen with water glasses. Just thinking. I tap my screen, creating a new story. I select one of the photos from dinner, Daniel's arm around my shoulders, his parents flanking us, my genuine smile. I've never looked more myself. The caption takes 4 attempts. I delete each draft, second-guessing every word. Too bitter, too desperate, too revealing. Finally, I type, huge thank you to Daniel and his amazing family for making my birthday special. So grateful to have people who actually care about me. My thumb hovers over the share button. Years of family training kick in, don't make waves, don't embarrass us, keep family business private. Is this too much? I show Daniel the screen, that familiar doubt creeping in. He reads it twice, then meets my eyes. It's just the truth, Sarah. Just the truth. Not an attack, not a tantrum, just the simple, unvarnished truth. I hit share before I can talk myself out of it. The post appears in my stories, its 24-hour countdown beginning. My stomach tightens momentarily, then relaxes. There's something freeing about finally saying out loud what I've known for years. My phone pings almost immediately. A heart from my college roommate, then another notification, and another. Happy birthday, Sarah. You deserve to be celebrated. You look beautiful. Hope it was special. I remember when you turned 10 and brought cupcakes for everyone. You've always been thoughtful. I blink at this last one, Mrs. Henderson, my 5th grade teacher. I haven't spoken to her in years, yet she remembers a detail about me that my own parents would likely forget. More messages arrive, former classmates, neighbors, a cousin on my mother's side, who I see at holidays but rarely speak to. Glad you had people to celebrate you properly. You deserve the best, always. Beautiful picture, happy birthday. The validation washes over me in waves. I'm not crazy. I'm not selfish. Other people see what I've been denying for so long. Look at all these messages, I murmur, showing Daniel my phone. He squeezes my hand. People care about you, Sarah. A lot of people. For an hour, the notifications continue likes, messages, birthday wishes. I respond to each one, feeling lighter with every exchange. Daniel and I move to the kitchen for more cake, talking about nothing and everything. For the first time all day, I don't check for messages from my family. Then my phone buzzes with a different tone. A text message. What is this post, Sarah? Mom. Before I can process this, another message arrives. Dad this time. Are you serious right now? Then Jacob. Way to be dramatic. My phone begins ringing. Mom's face fills the screen. I stare at it, remembering all the times I've answered immediately, afraid of disappointing her further. The second call comes 15 seconds after the first ends. Then a third. Daniel watches me carefully. You don't have to answer. I know. And for the first time, I truly do know that. I silence the ringer and set the phone face down on the counter. 5 minutes later, I pick it up again. 7 missed calls, 12 text messages, a family group chat in meltdown. I take a deep breath and hit call back. When Mom answers on the first ring, her voice is tight with controlled fury. Finally, what do you think you're doing with that post? People are calling me. Without warning her, I tap the speaker button and place the phone on the counter between Daniel and me. His presence steadies me as I prepare to speak my truth for the second time tonight. Hi, Mom, I say calmly. I was just thanking the people who remembered my birthday. Delete it, now. Dad's voice in the background. They must be on speakerphone, too. This is completely inappropriate, Sarah. I catch Daniel's eye. He nods encouragement. No, I say, the single word feeling foreign and powerful in my mouth. I don't think I will. I sit perfectly still in Daniel's living room, my mother's voice filling the speaker of my phone. My hands tremble slightly against my thigh, but my voice remains steady, a small victory. I cling to like a life raft in choppy waters. What the hell are you doing, Sarah? People are seeing this. Mom's voice is pitched higher than normal, that special tone reserved for public embarrassments and social faux pas. Daniel sits beside me, close enough for support, but giving me space to fight my own battle. His parents have tactfully retreated to the kitchen, though I can see them through the doorway near enough to step in if needed, far enough to offer privacy. I chose this battlefield deliberately surrounded by witnesses who care about me, not isolated where I could be more easily manipulated. What am I doing? I repeat, surprised by the calm in my voice. I'm thanking the people who actually showed up for my birthday. Take that post down. Now. Dad's voice cuts in, his barely controlled anger vibrating through the speaker. He must have grabbed the phone from Mom. You have no idea how this could affect your future, Sarah. My phone buzzes with incoming texts. Jacob. Mom and Dad are furious. What were you thinking? Another one follows immediately. You're making this way bigger than it needs to be. What strikes me most is what they're not saying. Not one of them has said, "I'm sorry we forgot your birthday." Not one mention of how I might feel. Their concern centers entirely on appearance show. This makes them look to friends and extended family. I'm not taking it down, I say, the words falling from my lips before I can second guess myself. I posted the truth. Daniel's family made my birthday special when you chose to celebrate Jacob instead. Sarah Elizabeth Winters. Dad's voice drops dangerously low. There will be consequences if you continue this childish behavior. The silence stretches between us. Daniel reaches over, his hand covering mine, steadying the trembling. What consequences? I finally ask, my voice clearer than I expected. You've already shown me where I stand. We're coming over, Dad announces abruptly. This conversation isn't happening over the phone. I catch Daniel's eye. He nods slightly, squeezing my hand. That's fine, I say. I'm at Daniel's. His parents are here too. The long pause that follows tells me everything. They expected me to be alone, vulnerable, malleable. We can discuss this tomorrow. Mom interjects smoothly. When you're thinking clearly, sweetie. The endearment lands like a slap. How convenient that she remembers to use it now. No, I say firmly. If you want to talk, come now. Otherwise, we have nothing to discuss. 43 minutes later, they arrive. Mom's smile is brittle as she exchanges pleasantries with Daniel's parents in the entryway. Dad stands stiffly beside her, his eyes darting around the well-appointed home as if seeking tactical advantages. We'd like to speak with our daughter privately, Dad announces, not quite making it a question. Daniel's father, a man I've known less than a year, but who remembered my birthday without prompting steps slightly forward. Sarah is welcome to have privacy if she wants it, he says, but she's also welcome to have support here. Family matters should remain within the family. Dad counters, his jaw tightening. Sarah is like family to us, Daniel's father replies evenly. She's welcome to have support. Mom's face flushes. The script is slipping away from them, the one where they arrive, overwhelm me with authority, and leave with my compliance secured. I can see it in their eyes, the dawning realization that they've stepped onto unfamiliar terrain. Sarah, sweetheart, Mom tries again, her voice honeyed with forced affection. We just want to understand what's upset you so much. The question is so disingenuous, it almost makes me laugh. You really don't know? I ask quietly. You forgot my birthday to celebrate Jacob instead. That's not fair, Dad begins. You didn't forget, I interrupt, surprising myself. The dinner for Jacob was planned weeks ago. I checked the family calendar. You chose to exclude me on my birthday. We were going to celebrate with you this weekend. Mom insists, but her eyes slide away from mine. No, you weren't, I say, the certainty burning through me like a fever breaking. This is just what you always do. Jacob first. Me as an afterthought, if at all. The room falls silent. In their faces, I see something I've never witnessed before, the uncomfortable recognition of a truth they can no longer deny, at least not to themselves. For the first time in my life, they see me. And I see them too clearly, finally, completely. Daniel's living room feels like a courtroom. The air is thick with tension, almost visible in the late afternoon light filtering through beige curtains. I sit with my spine straight against the firm cushions of the sofa, my hands resting in my lap still, not fidgeting. Across from me, Mom and Dad stand awkwardly by the fireplace mantel, refusing the seats offered by Daniel's parents before they discreetly stepped into the kitchen. Mom adjusts her pearl necklace, the one she wears to important client dinner sand, attempts a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. Sarah, honey, this is all a misunderstanding. We were actually planning to surprise you this weekend. Dad stands with his feet slightly apart, hands clasped before him like he's addressing a difficult client. This social media tantrum needs to end now. You're damaging our family's reputation. My phone buzzes again on the coffee table between us. Jacob's texts are still coming through. I deliberately pick up the phone, turning the screen so they can all see his latest message. Tell Mom and Dad I'm heading to Ryan's place. Don't wait up. Some celebration, I say, my voice steadier than I expected. Mom's eyes immediately well with tears. Right on cue, the same performance I've seen at charity functions when she needs to appear moved by someone's generosity. After everything we've done for you, Sarah, the opportunities we've given you, the support, your grandmother's inheritance fund could be reconsidered. Dad cuts in, his voice cool and businesslike. Financial decisions require maturity and family loyalty. The words hang in the air like a revelation. Money. It's always been about money. Every birthday check, every tuition payment, every gift that came with invisible strings. We've always supported you more than Jacob. Mom insists, dabbing carefully at her eyes to avoid smudging her mascara. He just needed more attention because of his special qualities. A strange calm settles over me. Name one thing. I say, my voice quiet but clear. Name one accomplishment of mine that you celebrated properly. The silence stretches between us, punctuated only by the distant sound of dishes being deliberately washed in the kitchen, Daniel's parents giving us privacy while remaining close enough to intervene if needed. My high school graduation, you spent the ceremony whispering about Jacob's science fair project. I hold up one finger. My college awards banquet, you left early for his baseball game. Another finger. My first job offer, you asked if I'd considered waiting for something better while planning Jacob's graduation party a year in advance. A third finger. I unlock my phone, scrolling through my calendar and showing them. You didn't forget my birthday. You scheduled Jacob's scholarship dinner on the same day, just like you've scheduled something for him during every important day of my life. That's not forgetfulness. That's choice. I turn the phone toward them again, displaying a photo album I've kept. Empty chairs at my events, half-eaten celebration cakes, solo photos where family should be standing beside me. You're twisting everything! Mom's voice rises, the polite veneer cracking. These are isolated incidents that you're connecting to create a false narrative. Dad steps forward, his jaw tight. If you want to remain part of this family, you'll delete that social media post and stop this ridiculous performance. That's just it. I feel something break free inside me, not breaking down, but breaking through. I've never really been part of the family, have I? I've been the audience, the photographer, the cheerleader, never the celebrated. I reach into my bag and pull out a small, leather-bound journal. I started keeping track 3 years ago. Every forgotten milestone, every canceled plan, every celebration cut short because of Jacob. It's all here. Mom's eyes widen at the physical evidence of my pain, tangible proof that can't be dismissed as emotional exaggeration. I won't pretend anymore. I continue, my voice gaining strength. Either acknowledge how you've treated me, or leave me alone. Those are your choices now, not mine. Dad's face flushes with anger, the way it does when a business deal goes south. You'll regret this when you need us, Sarah. Don't come crying back when real life gets difficult. Sarah, Mom hisses, glancing toward the kitchen where Daniel's parents are barely pretending not to listen. People are watching your story online. What will everyone think? Daniel moves from his position near the doorway to sit beside me, not touching but close enough that I feel his steady presence. I hope they are watching, I say, meeting first her gaze, then Dad's. Maybe it will help someone else speak up. The shock on their faces is almost worth the years of pain the moment they realize they've truly lost control of the narrative. That the dutiful, invisible daughter they could count on to stay quiet has found her voice, and others are finally listening. Dad checks his watch, a nervous habit, when he's lost the upper hand. Mom's fingers twist around her pearls. For the first time in my life, they don't know what to say to me. For the first time, I don't rush to fill the silence with apologies. I simply wait, breathing in the unfamiliar sensation of standing in my truth while they scramble to rewrite it. But some stories can't be edited once they've been told, and mine finally belongs to me. The morning light streams through curtains. I chose myself bold teal patterns that would have horrified my mother's beige sensibilities. 1 month since my birthday, and my apartment finally feels like me. No more generic decorations chosen to avoid criticism. No more muting myself. I run my fingers over the beautiful leather journal from Daniel's parents, displayed prominently on my bookshelf alongside the artisan tea set his sister gave me. Simple gifts, thoughtfully chosen. The kind that say, I see you. My phone buzzes with a calendar reminder. I no longer flinch when it lights up. I filtered my contacts, removed the family group chat. The constant knot in my stomach has finally begun to unravel. Ready? Daniel calls from the kitchen where he's washing our breakfast dishes. Almost. I smoothed down the emerald blouse I bought last week, color I've always loved but rarely wore. Too bold, Mom would say. Too attention-seeking. I catch my reflection in the hallway mirror and barely recognize the woman staring back. Not just the clothes or the more confident posture, but something in my eyes. The anxious, approval-seeking girl from my birthday morning has begun to fade. The thing about emotional neglect, Dr. Lewis says during our third session, is that it's characterized by what didn't happen. I nod, fingers twisting in my lap. That's why I doubted myself for so long. There were no dramatic fights, no obvious abuse, just absence. Consistent, reliable absence wherever my needs were concerned. And how does naming that feel? She leans forward slightly, her eyes kind behind practical glasses. Like I'm not crazy. My voice catches. Like I've been trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces all my life. Later that week, I sit in a circle of strangers who quickly become anything but. Adult children of emotionally neglectful parents, the group is called. Their stories echo mine with unsettling familiarity. When my phone shows 3 missed calls from Mom after our group meeting, I delete the notifications without checking the voicemails. The guilt I expected doesn't come. At my desk that evening, I address Christmas cards, a task I've always handled for the entire family. This year, my list is shorter but more meaningful. Each name represents someone who's actually shown up for me. The stack for my parents and Jacob remains blank beside my pen. After a moment's consideration, I return them to their box. On my calendar, I've already marked next year's birthday not with expectations of others, but with plans for myself. Sunrise hike plus favorite bakery. I've written. A promise to celebrate regardless of who joins me. Your parents are telling everyone you abandoned the family after all they did for you. Aunt Meredith's text arrives on a Tuesday morning. I stare at it for a long moment before typing. They're entitled to their version of events. My thumb hovers over the send button before I add. I'm open to a relationship that includes mutual respect and honesty. 3 days later, Jacob's name appears on my screen for the first time since the confrontation. I didn't realize what they were doing to you. His message reads, I always thought you got the better deal because they left you alone while micromanaging me. I don't respond immediately. Healing isn't linear, and relationships can't be forced. But I save the message a small opening that might someday lead somewhere if he's willing to grow. From my parents, there's only deafening silence. No acknowledgement, no ownership, just the void I've always known, now honestly labeled. To the family we choose, I raise my glass, looking around my dining table at faces illuminated by candlelight. And the strength to choose ourselves first. Daniel's mother reaches over to squeeze my hand. His father beams from across the table. My college roommate clinks her glass against mine. The warmth in this room stands in stark contrast to that solitary birthday morning, just months ago. My eyes drift briefly to the empty chair I've left at the corner of the table. Not with desperate hope, but with peaceful acknowledgement that doors can remain unlocked without expecting anyone to walk through them. After dessert, I excuse myself briefly and slip into my office. The blog draft is nearly complete. Finding home. Healing from family estrangement. Comments have poured in from early readers, people who recognize their stories in mine. I glance at the letter I've written but haven't sent. I'm still here if you ever want to truly know me, it concludes. Maybe someday they'll be ready to read it. Maybe they won't. For now, I have this moment, this peace, this chosen family that loves without conditions or competition. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is rewrite your own story.